Welcome to Karaoke Wine with Jules and Tessa.
Welcome, guys.
Karaoke wine.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Briosa.
Thank you, Briosa.
We love you.
We love you. Yeah. As you guys may have noticed, we are trying some things, trying to get an actual studio together.
Yes.
So here we go.
One day is our lighting, the next is the actual microphones, then it's the shadows, and then it's the sound, and then it's the alignment on the phone. It's just a whole thing. We're learning as we go. So,
bear with us, please.
Always.
And know that we at least have the sound. I feel like as long as we have the sound...
You guys really don't care what we look like, right?
No, right? I mean,
it's whatever we say.
Yeah, exactly. I am going to share a little bit more about my own mental health journey, but based off of some recent events, obviously, in the world, there's a lot of things, unfortunate things going on with unaliving people. We're going to say that because apparently you can't say.
You can't?
Well,
since when?
You can.
He got assassinated.
He did get assassinated, yes.
The fuck?
And Iryna, too, unfortunately.
Yeah,
which
she
is
was
very
killed
sad.
on a bus, guys.
Yes.
I'm going to...
Yeah.
You know what? After the assassination, after the bus, and us choosing our words very closely not to offend anyone, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So...
No.
Unaliving, what is it? They don't call them homeless anymore. It's like...
It's homeless. I don't
homeless
know.
Is like
realize.
What? Unsheltered, something?
They're homeless. I haven't heard that one.
But yeah, I mean, it's the same
like
shit.
Some
So I'm
Gen
like,
Z bullshit.
It's always.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Guys. Well, actually, our demographic is our age.
Yeah. That's why all the millennials
I don't care,
are like...
Plus, my friend the other day after this, she reached out on social media because she saw a little rant I did about, choosing a side. And it wasn't choosing a side based on political affiliations. It was choosing a side of humanity.
Yes.
And she said, you have a platform and, you can rant all day on your Instagram, but you can also use your podcast to talk about things like this and actually make a change in the world for the positive.
Exactly. And I do want to share one piece of information that we've never shared on the podcast before. And people who know us and love us know this, but Jules and I are actually registered under different parties. So we're not going to get into details.
Yeah, the political closet.
We're coming out of the political closet. I think it's important for our listeners to know this because we don't agree on everything.
Yes.
No, but what we do agree on is how we love and how we respect each other, even in those differences. Mm-hmm. And our foundational morals, I feel, are incredibly consistent. We're going to get into a lot of our differences today and how we've both opened doors for each other to see each other in a different light and be able to incorporate that into our friendship and make it even deeper, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it also goes into mental health. I mean, what you're seeing on Instagram every single day, it goes into your mental health because it's literally programming your mind into thinking something.
Yeah.
And, whether your algorithm gives you love and light and a lot of like spiritual messages, which is what I get most of the time.
Not after the last week's events, but yes. Yeah. And I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was the exact same way. And I think part of it too is it's not just about, and I want you to share more on, and I don't know if it was you that shared it with me, or I was talking to my best friend in San Diego. We're not meant to see what we saw in that assassination and the stabbing. And this was up front in your face. And Jules and I had talked about it the next morning. And I was like, it reminded me of a Quentin Tarantino movie or a Guy Ritchie movie. Like that's the amount of blood that you see, but it's real. And for our brains, like I even went to bed last night and I was nervous. Like I had this like sick feeling in my stomach because I was like, gosh, because he had a difference in opinion and people thought that it would, you know, and there, I will come out and say I did not agree with a lot of what this man said. I will be straight up front. However, the way that he went about it to have a conversation, I love, because I'm that way.
Yeah.
I always seek to understand, not to disagree. Because even if I do disagree, totally fine. I'm curious to know why you believe so much in that one thing that you have. It's devastating, you know, unfortunately for me from Instagram, there were a lot of voices that I loved listening to about some of my beliefs that I no longer am engaging with anymore on Instagram because of the way that they celebrated the death of this man. And it's disgusting. And I had a moment where I went to record something after I did a little bit more research on Iryna, who was stabbed to death on public transportation, and I had to record it like 4 or 5 times. Now, this is the morning of September 10th, and I never ended up posting it because I was like, it's not really like, I don't want to be angry because I'm not really an angry person on Instagram in any capacity. And it was frustrating that there was so much misleading information when there's an actual recording of everything, which is really devastating to me. And a lot of people didn't realize, but it didn't get publicity until the second week of September. This happened on August 22nd. And that's devastating that a 23-year-old woman was stabbed to death on recorded public transportation. And the only reason it became national news is because of social media. So there's a double-edged sword right there. And, you know, we've talked about this. Jules and I are for everybody. We always will be for everybody. There is an episode that more than likely we're going to do on women specifically. That's not this episode. It's just one of those things when I talked to her about it, I was like, this just seems like, I didn't take it as more of a race thing. I took it more of this poor girl with 4 other men on that train and nobody stepped in to help.
Yeah.
Like, that's devastating. Anyway, I texted my best friend in San Diego and was like, I'm just sad with social media today and I can't anymore. And then the assassination happened. And we were crying. If you guys follow Jules on her personal platform, she did a tear-filled, I should say, little moment. And you even mentioned you didn't even post the second half of that video, right?
Yeah, because the second half was more angry.
Yeah.
And I think I always take things as a sign is when I saw what portion of that video was not uploaded. And I was like, okay, God is literally saying, don't post that one. Like, post the one where you're crying and it's about unifying. And I, you know, regardless of what political party anybody is on, especially Charlie Kirk, I didn't agree with, I can't even give you a number, but some things he said, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I don't agree with that. But there were some things where I was like, okay, I agree with that. Like, okay. But just watching him debate other people, I was in awe of this man's mind. Like, he was so smart and he was so articulate and the way he could debate people. I mean, I was in awe. And I was like, this is just a beautiful thing to watch. And his whole platform was to find the voices inside yourself, especially young humans on the college campuses saying like, you can believe whatever you want, but let's have a debate about it. Like, I want to hear your side and I'm going to debate you. And maybe there could be some empathy on both sides, some love, and maybe some change because it is very divisive right now. And it has been for a very long time. And on my Instagram platform and even on my Facebook, I don't, that old thing, the geriatric social media.
That's already on my family post. If you actually probably, no one would know what political party I am because if you go on any of my platforms, like who, like what is happening here?
I know. But I don't post a lot of political stuff. Just for that reason, like it's none of anyone's business about what I think. I will take it to the voting booth. But, and I have conversations with my friends about, you know, just personally. But after Charlie, and even on the Iryna situation, I did speak about that. But enough's enough. And I kind of drew the line and I was like, I'm for humanity and I'm for, you know, not celebrating anyone's death. He was a father. Iryna came from Ukraine, a war-stricken country right now. And all she wanted to do is have a better life. And there was a career criminal 14 times back on the streets. So I do believe in law and order. I do believe in stricter laws. And even with the gun law debate now, I believe in the Second Amendment. Should mental health be, you know, thought of when buying a gun? Absolutely.
I agree. I also think, I'm going to say something controversial here.
Go ahead, girl.
This whole idea of I did something bad, I have a mental problem. I'm over it.
I think it's a cop out.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Oh my God, we agreed on something?
We agree on a lot, just FYI. I'm sitting here. Let me start with saying this. I haven't had anything catastrophic happen to me in the form of abuse, any type of sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental, emotional. I mean, yeah, I dated a narcissist, but who hasn't? But what I have been through is at a very, very young age, I experienced a lot of death in my life. And I trusted people with my whole heart and soul during those years that took advantage of me thinking that they had my best interest at heart. So I have trauma in that aspect. And the reason I share that with you is I think people are very quick to say I'm a product of my environment. If that was true for me, I would be a drug addict, alcoholic right now.
Yeah.
Even though my parents were sober and raised me as sober people, every single person in my family has been to prison once or twice for drugs and alcohol. And I don't speak to anybody in my family anymore because that's who they are. Now, I do want to clarify, they are great people when they're sober. They're the best people, that kind of like me, like the best person. Weird. My point in saying this is that's a disease, right? That's a mental illness. That's what people like to say with drugs and alcohol. And for me to be a product of that and know my limits and know when I am having to be checked once or twice by friends because might be testifying a few things, not anymore, but I was the last couple of months when I was healing. I just do not think that mental illness is not the excuse for violence. Thank you. Because mental health has become a lot bigger than it ever has been. We are the generation leading therapy. We are the generation leading with maybe I will be medicated for certain reasons, not all the time, not super heavily, but we are that generation. And we want to talk about things because we don't want to suppress any longer. And I'm frustrated that anytime somebody does something bad, we'll have a mental disorder.
Yeah.
To be able to plead insanity back in the day, I mean, you really had to be a fucking cuckoo puff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Now it's whoopsies, didn't mean to stab that girl 3 times. And it's because I have a mental disorder. That's why
I didn't get help. If
Yeah.
only I had the government structures to help me. There's 2 things to that, right? I come from a military background, and PTSD is very prevalent 100%. In veterans.
Yes.
So is homelessness and drug addiction, because they have PTSD, they don't have the infrastructure to get help post, and they spiral out of control. Now, there's a lot of people that do have the means to get help now in the military.
Yeah.
Because PTSD has been forefront and has been a conversation. Second thing, when you, and I'm saying you, I'm not saying anyone in particular, But now after this assassination, and both sides are saying, okay, now we should come to the aisle. Now we should talk. He was killed because he debated, guys. So I don't know what's going to change. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to talk about policies and not have the violence, but he was only doing what we are now wanting to do. It's like, what's the answer?
But I
think he was watching these super negative videos all the time. And when you call out people as a fascist or a racist or a misogynist, and it's over and over and over and over again in your brain, yeah, someone's going to be like, someone's got to stop him. But that wasn't who Charlie was. He just believed in God and the Bible and good, solid, core family values.
Unfortunately, I didn't know a lot about him until the assassination, and I feel like there's a lot of people in the same boat that I am. And he was beautiful at what he did. And I just have such a deep found respect for this man. So the interesting thing about social media right now is it's showing 2 negative clips about Charlie Kirk. And those are the only 2 that I can find. One is him going off on an audience member, but it's only showing him going off. It doesn't show the beginning because, of course, they're going to show the bad part on him. If you watch the whole thing, the person in the audience was extremely disrespectful. And everything I've seen with Charlie Kirk when he is having any type of debate is he's like, let's talk about it. We'll explain why. Can you clarify? He doesn't just immediately jump in and start trying to explain himself. He actually has the person break down exactly what they mean. And I think that's part of why he's so great to watch, because people like to say blanket statements. Like this person was like, you don't like this community. And he's like, I've never said that. I believe that a marriage, it was something about the LGBT community. Like, you hate us all or something. He's like, I've never said that. I have no hate in my heart for anybody. And she's like, well, you're trying to take away marriage. And he's like, no, I'm not. My beliefs are just that marriage should be between a man and a woman. That's my beliefs. I don't hate anybody because of what they believe. I'm just saying what I believe, and that's okay. We're all allowed to have differences. So this quote that is going around about Charlie Kirk, and it really hits home for me, is he says, I can't stand the word empathy. I think empathy is a made up new age term, and it does a lot of damage. So that is what a lot of people are posting right now. However, there is a second part to this quote. It's not the full quote, so they're making him look bad. The second part of the quote is, sympathy is a better word, because empathy means you are actually feeling what another person felt, and no one can feel what another person feels. Now, this is why it's important, because when you have empathy for somebody, you've been through it before, okay? It's internal. You're an empath. You feel what they're feeling. Sympathy is a symptom. It allows you to feel the symptom for somebody else, even if you haven't experienced it. And that was the problem with how people were reacting to what happened to him. It didn't matter who he was. It didn't matter what he believed in, unless he was, like Ted Bundy or something. Then yeah, maybe he should have gotten shot, right? But he didn't even get shot.
Yeah.
But this was a family man, somebody who loved his wife, loved his kids, loved his parents, loved his community, wanted to talk to young people. Who wants to talk to a young person? Okay, kudos to this man.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you see people celebrating, and that's what really made me more distraught about the events than anything, was how can you be so inhumane to celebrate that somebody has lost their life, somebody have lost their husband, somebody lost their father. And, when it happened, my mom called me and we spent 45 minutes on the phone, and she was crying and I was crying, because she immediately goes like, my kids. And the unfortunate part was, she said, I always worried about you girls because you are all so beautiful. So, the kidnapping, the raping, the things that happen to young women or women in general, I was nervous about. She was like, I never thought that there would be a time in my life that I would have to worry about you three getting shot for something that you believe in. She's like, it never crossed my mind until today. And that was a hard conversation to have. And I immediately think, wow, Charlie's daughters aren't going to be able to talk to him when he's 70 plus years old, when something catastrophic like this happens, to lean on him.
I mean, if you look at history in the United States, we have Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, JFK,
Yeah.
Charlie. Those are all actual assassinations
Yeah.
that went like full circle. It was like completed.
Yeah.
Then you have Reagan, you have Trump,
Yep.
and by the grace of God, they were, they
Yeah.
survived.
And all these people wanted unity, FYI.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting to me about this assassination, because it is history repeats itself. He was able to talk to anybody,
Yeah.
have a conversation. He was respectful about it. He just wanted us all to get along. And he said that over and over again. And because he was able to have communication, which we talk about all the time, and proper communication, they eliminated him because he didn't stand for the hate. He didn't stand for the evil.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned something earlier, and I just want to get my thought out before I forget it. I think part of the point he was trying to make in having these conversations, right? Unfortunately, I feel that part of the world's reaction in a very disturbing, disgusting manner of celebration is allowing people like me and people in my party to recognize that we don't believe what that person celebrating is believing anymore. I don't want to be associated with that person. And I think that's the power of what happened. I think he was trying to have these conversations and he was doing it on his own, and he had a great following. But if you even watch his wife, Erica, she mentioned, she's like, we've had more donations to our charity than ever. We have more young people asking to start chapters more than ever. We have more people interested in knowing more than ever. And, you know, for equality to really move forward, unfortunately, Martin Luther King lost his life. Martin Luther King Jr. lost his life. And maybe that's what needed to happen to have this bigger conversation and to be able to start having normal conversations. Is he had to, unfortunately, be assassinated in this way for people to start realizing, oh my God, how did they kill him? Because think about how many people are now watching everything that he said.
Yeah. His voice is louder post.
Yeah.
And I knew about him. I followed him. He, I am registered independent, everyone, but I do vote more conservatively.
Yeah.
He was a rock star, and he still is a rock star, and he will be for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. He will just be that generational person that we all in the conservative world just looked up to and in awe. And it wasn't his every word was Bible, because it's not. Like, I have my own opinions. And I, when I say I'm registered independent, it's because I don't care. Like, I love the gays, and I am good with, you being trans. But there are moments in every kind of community that I might have an issue with. So
that's being American.
It's being American. Exactly.
You're allowed to believe in
different things. Yes. Like, I'm like, I cherry pick my little issues. 100%. I believe in that one over there. Oh, I like that one over here. And that's why I'm registered independent, because I was usually straight down the middle. Yeah. More so in the last, I would say 4 years, I have been more or less all the way to the right. Now, there are crazy people
on both sides.
Very radical people on both sides. When it came to the moment of silence for Charlie, and there were some Democrats in the House that refused to give it to this man.
And they yelled.
You are the fucking problem.
Yeah.
In a moment where you could stand up and show that you are a fucking human, that you have feelings for someone other than your own political party, you could have chose humanity and being respectful of the fact that he was standing up for freedom of speech and he lost his life for it. But instead, you chose the other way. And that, my friend, is the problem. And that is what spews the people that did exactly what they did to Charlie.
Yep.
So I think that once you're in political office, I think that you are held up to a higher standard. You can protest. That is your right. You can, bring up legislation. That is your right. You speak for your district. That is your job. But what is not your job, and when you are held to a higher standard, maybe they're not. Maybe we should, stand up and be like, you are accountable for the things that you are doing. And people are looking at you.
People are losing their jobs left and right.
Good.
Left and right. And I'm celebrating
Good.
that. That is something I'm celebrating.
Hit it where it hurts.
Yeah, hate does not deserve.
What happened? Oh, that's fine. We have more light. Charlie is giving us like, hello.
Yeah, Charlie's like, yes. So, but the point, you guys, we have, just to give a little funsy in a minute of moment.
Yes.
Oh, we have trash bags up over my windows because the blackout curtains did
I mean,
not
if you
arrive yet.
literally walked into this room, you're like, okay, they're crazy.
Yeah,
Like they're
I think-
blacking out the
yeah.
lights and like there was foil on the lights before. And yeah.
We might actually end up on that show, Bodies in the Basement.
Listen.
The dungeon.
Not us.
Yes, the basic human, the freedom to be a human was not displayed by quite a few individuals and that are heavily looked at, and that's unfortunate. And one of our girlfriends actually who we love, she came on and she's been speaking about this quite a bit, and people are just trying to rip her apart. And she's like, what are you, like, this is a man. Like I have kids that are around to his kids' ages, and we're not talking about race here. We're not talking about political party. We're talking about a human being who lost their life in a very, very vicious way. And it is disgusting to see that people, especially who are in elevated positions within our country, FYI, say things that are in support of what happened. It's disturbing. Like, what? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I mean, my mind was blown, but the sad part was that I knew it was coming. I knew that there was going to be people that just did not care about anything. They were, on college campuses saying, good, at least someone finally did it. Or, adults laughing. And yeah, and I've seen them. I only posted one video of them and I called them the virus.
Yeah.
And just like every virus, there's also a cure, guys. And I think that, I live a very Jewish life. And there's a saying in Judaism called Zelem Elohim, which means everyone is created in God's creation. And everyone is sacred. Every life is sacred. And you save a life, it's like saving the world. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. But when people do not value life, they also don't have any values at all. And I hope and pray for those people because they do need God in their life and they need a moral compass. And until they find it, we're going to still push and be the light in this world. And I do not choose darkness. I choose light.
Yeah. I think there is.
Keep going.
Yeah. Thank you. That was beautiful, by the way. It's unfortunate that people are forgetting that we are all American. It's unfortunate that people are forgetting that we're all human. Okay? I mean, have you watched Catfish yet? Not to make a joke right now.
Oh, the one about the mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody makes mistakes.
Oh my God.
But joking
Aside.
no, or putting any type of humor into death is not a mistake. That is,
it's a lapse of morality.
It is.
And humanity.
And you can't, I can't remember one time that I've ever celebrated the death of anybody. Ever. I don't know what kind of low life scumbag could sit there and celebrate. Like, there's songs and dancing, and it's devastating. And I have cried way more. And if you do watch my personal platform, I shared, I have lost somebody that I can no longer say I love you to anymore.
Yeah.
And that's something that you never get over, ever. And it's unfortunate. And I think part of the quote that Charlie had about empathy and sympathy is sometimes people do know how you feel if they went through something similar, and it rips your heart out of your chest, losing somebody that you care about and you can never touch again. You can never talk to again. You can never hear them laugh again. And to see people celebrating that is despicable. And it's one of those things where I just don't understand how we went from political parties and people who had disagreements and allowed people to just be who they were and still knew that they were good people regardless of political affiliation, and we're great friends. There's actually a movie, Long Shot, with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron, and I think it's not Bernie Mac. What's his name?
Bernie Sanders?
No, not Bernie Sanders. No, but it's
I've never seen that movie.
It's called Long Shot. It's a political movie, funny enough. But towards the end, and we'll find the clip and we'll play it for you guys. But Seth Rogen's friend is an African American CEO type, like very wealthy, like he's great, and he's Republican.
Oh my God.
And in the movie, Seth Rogen is like this hardcore liberal.
I saw that clip. It just, oh my God, it's so funny because it literally came on my phone today.
Yeah. Because people, that's what needs to happen. Like, best friends their whole lives, mind you. And he was like, I didn't feel like I could tell you that I was a Republican.
He's like, I am registered with the GOP.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things where
I think it's actually Masterpiece's son. Is it? Yeah,
I think so.
Or
Ice-T's son.
I don't know. It's one of the rappers' sons, but not racist. But it's one of those like '90s rappers' sons. I can't think of it. Right now.
Yeah. We'll circle back and we'll get the right people on here, obviously, because we do that. But
really bad at names, guys.
Yeah, really bad. But that's what it is. Like, people need to watch that movie. People need to go back and watch, what was the movie that I posted the other day with Denzel Washington with the football team?
Oh my God. I'm drawing a blank. Okay. Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans?
Movies for 200, please.
Yes, thank you. My point is like, we've forgotten how to be human first. There's all of this, and everything is a judgment now.
Yeah.
Oh, you think differently than me? I can't hang out with you anymore. Okay, we are living proof.
Yeah. I have a lot of liberal friends.
I have a lot of Democratic friends. I have a lot of Republican friends. I have a lot of friends across the board. I have friends who honestly, probably don't even know their own names sometimes, and I love them, and that's okay. It's just people.
But we're not the problem.
No.
Our circle of friends, when we discuss actual issues, we're not the problem. We are the solution.
Yeah.
And, I say to myself all the time, I would never run for office. Like, I am not worthy. But this has made me go, maybe I should do some more like political action and, volunteer and do more than just post stuff on Instagram.
I agree with that, because I think that it was really easy for us more middle people, because I believe that you and I are both middle. We might fall on different sides of the spectrum, but we're still middle people.
Yeah.
That this is what has awakened the middle people, because I was like, okay, wait a second. I don't stand with those nutcases all the way on the left, but I also don't stand with those nutcases all the way on the right.
Yeah.
Like, I stand for basic human decency. I stand to protect this country at all costs. Like, I stand for rights for everybody to love who they love and keep your hands off my body. Like, it's really not that hard, but put your hands on my body, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
I think that's a perfect like way to end this conversation. Is I love you.
I love you.
Yeah.
And you guys, in order to do all the things, have the fucking conversation.
Yes.
And
Intelligent conversation.
And don't be judgmental. Ask a question, seek to understand.
Yeah.
Not listen. You know, when people, what is that saying where like you don't wait for your turn to talk, actually like listen to what they're saying and seek to understand.
Yes.
Not just to have a response.
Right.
Right. You actually want to be engaged in the conversation. I've always been this way. I ask the most questions to everybody. I'm the nosiest motherfucker you'll ever meet.
I love it.
Yeah.
Seek and ye shall find.
Yes. And one other note, just because we did touch on it, and we're going to do like a whole fucking episode, because I am beyond proud of this one right here, Miss Hadassah.
Yes.
Jules completed her Judaism conversion.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers to
We're
that.
so proud of her.
Thank you.
We're going to talk more about it because it is a beautiful culture. It's a beautiful religion. And I'm so proud of you. And I love you.
Thank you. I did a whole rebirth.
Good. A whole rebirth.
Yeah. Which was, you know, my rebirth was on September 11th. And it was a happy day, but a sad day, because obviously for every American out there, September 11th is a very sad day, a day that we will never forget.
Yeah. But it was a day that we were allowed to fill with love because of what happened. And I think we all know how emotional I was.
Yeah, she cried probably more than I
cried
did.
more than she did. Like, the Rabbi Bergen was like, do you need a hug too? And I'm just so happy.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was
nice.
It was beautiful. So in order to do all the things, find your light, love, all the things.
Be respectful.
Be respectful. Find your humanity. If you feel like you've kicked it out the door,
Find your voice.
Bring it back in.
You know?
Oh yeah, find your voice.
Find your voice.
Yeah. Jules and I are going to take a more active approach to things.
Yeah.
We're going to try.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. Bitches.
Love you.
Love you. Wait, what happened? Are we sitting on the...
Thank you for watching this episode of Karaoke Wine. Please like and subscribe.